She said it like a dare. Across the table, wine half drunk, her lipstick curved around the sentence like poison. I can give you a baby if you want, because your wife isn't capable of it. The restaurant went silent in my head. Cutlery froze mid-air. My husband's eyes flicked to me, guilt blooming behind his pupils, like a stain trying to hide in plain sight. He expected me to shatter, or cry, or look away. Instead, I smiled, tilted my head just enough for him to see calm, not pain. "Follow your heart," I whispered. He didn't understand it then, but he would. The next morning, I called my lawyer. When I first met Ethan, I thought he was warmth personified. A steady laugh, a gentle voice, hands that always reached for mine. I mistook consistency for love. We built a life on quiet promises. Our future, our house, our plans for children that never came. The doctors called it unexplained infertility. I called it God's irony. He said it didn't matter, said he loved me, that we could adopt, that I was enough, and I believed him. Until I noticed how he started checking his phone in the bathroom. It's never one big thing that betrays you, it's the small ones. The cologne that wasn't his. The lingering scent of someone else's perfume on the passenger seat. The half-truths told with too much confidence. Her name was Lauren, his ex, the woman before me. I found her name in a text that wasn't meant for me, 3 words that shifted everything. I miss you too. I didn't confront him then. I closed the message, cleared my face of emotion, and in that moment I decided, if he wanted to play deceit, I'd play strategy. I learned everything about her job, her habits, her weaknesses. She was ambitious but careless, obsessed with appearances. She posted everything, her new car, her office, her quiet nights that were anything but. I started visiting the same places, casually. The cafe she loved, the gym she pretended to go to. I watched her the way a hunter studies movement in the dark. Not out of jealousy, out of calculation. When Ethan began staying late at work, I didn't ask questions. I encouraged him, cooked dinner, kissed his cheek, made him believe I was blind. He didn't notice the small things disappearing from the house. Documents, files, the signed deed with my name first on the mortgage. He didn't know that the joint accounts had quietly become mine alone. When he finally confessed, tearful, shaking, rehearsed, I acted. "I didn't mean to," he said. "It just happened." I nodded, slow, controlled. "I understand." He looked relieved. He shouldn't have. The next day, my lawyer filed for divorce. Adultery as the cause. The photos I'd collected, his car outside her apartment, his texts, her message history, were more than enough. Lauren was subpoenaed. Her boss saw everything. The affair wasn't just scandalous, it was career-ending. They both lost their jobs within a month. He didn't know that the anonymous email to HR had come from a newly created address under her own name. 3 weeks later, he called, said he'd made a mistake, said she'd turned on him. I listened, quietly. Then I said, "Follow your heart, remember?" and hung up. But the true revenge wasn't public. It was intimate. When he left, he thought he'd taken everything. Me, our house, our future. He didn't know I'd refinanced before the divorce, that he'd signed away his rights in a flurry of distracted signatures. He didn't realize that every account he thought was shared had already been drained into one under my name. The day he moved out, I watched him struggle with boxes that weren't his anymore. His new love waited in the car, sunglasses hiding the panic she was starting to feel. I stood in the doorway, calm. "Good luck," I said. Months passed. I bought new curtains, repainted the walls, adopted a dog from the shelter. Peace has a sound. It's the absence of explaining yourself to someone who never really listened. Then, one morning, a letter arrived from Lauren, apologizing, saying she'd lost everything, that he'd left her too, that she was pregnant, alone, scared. I folded the paper, set it aside. For a moment, I felt a flicker of pity. Then I remembered her at that dinner table, the glint in her eyes when she said I wasn't capable. I poured coffee, took a sip, and smiled. Because she was right. I couldn't give him a baby, but I gave him something far better. A lesson he'll never forget. And that, I think, is the kind of legacy that lasts.